Coming up right now, a free hotel stay at a luxury resort. Yeah, there's a catch.
As always, right? Also coming up, the next skin treatment trend takes the vampire facial to another extreme.
A little bit later on, and there she is, Mrs. AI, the unreal truth behind the latest beauty pageant queen.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to an hour of Daily Flash. So glad to have you here. You look fantastic. Matt Doolittle joins us a little bit later on. Matty has been doing his thing, rocking and rolling. I hope you have. Have you, Matty?
I have, and it's been a lot of fun. But you know what I love around here? It turns into a middle school lunchroom when we take a break between, when we're filming and everything.
Breaks, yeah.
There's 4 or 5 of us on the staff here who are still wrestling fans well into our 30s. And we sit here talking about Dominic Mysterio and all this stuff. And you just see some of the people around here's eyes just glaze over like, you guys are still watching wrestling? And we're like, yes, we are.
Keeps you young.
Yeah. And I was wondering where my little white milk went to now that I know that there's a cafeteria.
Did you get chocolate milk too at school?
I would only drink chocolate. Now I cannot stand chocolate milk. I don't know what it is.
I can't drink milk at all.
Milk is one of those things you move away from.
Yeah, for sure. So a new trend with regard to what starts fights.
Okay.
And it's more topical than it is physical. But they say that what ends up causing people to really kind of lose it in a conversation when these topics come up.
Okay.
Cats versus dogs.
Really? Really?
You're a cat person, you're a dog person. Yeah, apparently there's that it can really set a nerve off. Another thing, pineapple on pizza.
I don't know why people get so upset about that thing, which, by the way, I think is delicious, and I know thank you. You like it too?
Horrible.
Yeah.
No,
Pineapple on pizza.
that's garbage.
Why?
Pizza.
Tell me why.
It's garbage. It's too
Look at
sour.
here we go.
Yeah,
It's too sour.
Exactly.
It's delicious.
It's
It makes
delicious.
it sour.
Why do you put fruit on a pizza?
Right. Exactly.
Because that's how every pizza has fruit on it, because tomato is a fruit.
Oh, okay. All right. Argument settled right there.
Well, my parents own pizza restaurants, so I've got to defend
You can
the
justify it. The other thing is when you tell a woman to calm down or relax.
Don't.
That's the first thing you learn about getting married. Never say calm down. Think of 10,000 other words other than calm down.
The other thing that you should never tell your girlfriend or your wife, you're reminding me of your mother.
Oh, really?
Talk about like divorce alley right there.
My wife can swing that around on me, and that'll set me up. I'll be like, what?
Wow.
So there you have it. Some of the things
Calm
that
down, man.
cause a make or break fight.
I don't know what it is. Women do not like hearing. Guys could hear calm down because they're used to it. But that.
You tell me to calm down and relax. Oh
And
boy!
relax. And
Because here's the thing. Subtly, it suggests that I'm crazy.
Yes, yeah,
That
exactly.
is what I interpret as a female. That's what you interpret that.
Sometimes the ladies are crazy, so.
Well, your best bet is just to go, all right, let's figure out a solution.
We're spirited. We're passionate.
Yeah, they believe it. Well, I can tell you what it comes down to. Women deal, on general, deal with emotion. Men deal with logic. We're trying to figure out
That is
logically.
true.
Women work on emotion.
Mitch and I have talked about this before. Him and I married 2 really, really smart women. So 9 times out of 10, they're probably right. So I've learned that with mine. I'm like, she's probably right on this one.
You can either be right or married, is what they say.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
A friend of mine said, you know what? You just surrender. At some point, you just surrender.
What's the sense?
You don't fight it.
If there's something you really want to stand on, all right, just pick your battles.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to have to do. All right, more marriage advice I'm sure we'll spew out to you. How about staying in a nice resort for one night? There's a luxury resort in Spain that's allowing you to do that, but there is a catch. The walls are made out of glass. 2 travel bloggers stayed in the glass room. It's located in the lobby of the popular Ibiza Hotel, but they had no idea what they were in for. They claimed the hotel actually failed to mention what the experience would entail. Footage from their one-night stay shows staff mopping the floors, guests checking in, someone snapping photos of them in bed. The couple says visitors knocked on the glass, woke them up in the middle of the night. They were asked if there are any restrictions given to the room's lobby location and the walls of glass. The hotel didn't give the couple any guidelines, so you can do your taxes in there,
So
and they would
anything
allow
goes.
it. Anything
in the,
goes. We'll allow it.
Here's the thing: did the hotel not tell them, or did they not ask?
They probably didn't ask.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if it's a good deal, you're like, oh my gosh, you want to do it. You don't look at the details.
There's always a catch.
Always look at the
Always.
details.
I couldn't do that.
You know what they say? People that rent glass rooms, glass houses, don't cast the first
How
stone.
is that,
Don't
though?
get stoned. Is
Yeah.
what it is.
And don't walk around naked.
That's true. But how is that any different than the life that these two probably travel bloggers live online?
That's a
Because they're
very good
showing
point.
every single moment of their day.
That is actually a great point, and that's what it should be called, the bloggers room.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you want to see what it looks like? All right, we're going to do it. That's
So
interesting.
instead of seeing it on the phone, you can see it live in person.
There you go. I like that idea. Now I'm all for
Although
this.
if it's Mitch and I, we're just mooning everybody
You
that
don't-
walks. It's
you
just
don't wanna
cheeks
see
on
me.
glass.
That's a whole different show.
Just cheeks on glass.
Cheeks on glass.
The latest beauty trend takes the vampire facial to a new level. Beauty chasers are injecting their own blood into their face to rejuvenate their complexion. The injections of PRF, or platelet-rich fibrin, is part of a new trend toward natural refreshers. Experts suggest the injections could help minimize dark circles, wrinkles, and even hair loss. The injections can cost anywhere from $500 to $2,000 for a single session. Despite disclaimers about its overall safety, people seem to be drawn to this new approach for maintaining a youthful appearance without artificial fillers.
And I've heard of people taking blood from younger people and doing that. There's this billionaire that's
yes.
around. I don't know. He's gaining a lot of popularity where he is doing something similar to this, and he says, but he also has this diet. There's no.
Is it
human.
the blood transfusion
It was
where
something
he's
like-
taking blood from a younger
Yes.
individual and transfusing it into his body?
Taking it from his son. Thank you, Noah. And he was actually doing it. He says, and then you can have a doctor say anything, but he says that he's got this. His body is much healthier, and now he can be but he's a billionaire. And they have access to that sort
Yes.
of thing. This is really not really. Is it helping society? It's helping people live longer. I don't know. I think if it's going to help society, and maybe. But
I do think that there is likely a remedy in nature for everything.
Certainly,
I've always thought that. So, is it better to maybe use your own personal, something from your own body to make your body look younger? I would think there's some sort of.
it seems like if you could do it,
Using
yeah.
that, yeah.
You're recycling. I mean, there was a big push where they would take fat from your butt and put it in your cheeks.
Cheeks, yeah.
So. How
But then it just dissolves from your cheeks and goes right back to your butt.
Goes right to your thighs. Yeah.
Well, some say she's top of the bots, and she's just been crowned the world's first ever Miss AI.
Okay.
Meet Kenza Laley, made entirely by artificial intelligence. She managed to beat out 1,500 other digital influencers to win the title. The win also comes with a $20,000 prize for the tech exec who brought her to life. These digital contestants were scored on beauty, technology, and their social media engagement.
Wow.
Panel of judges made up of both human and AI experts determined the winner.
So we're watching this, and you don't see a lot of body movement outside of her hands and that sort of thing. I mean, we're going to get to a point where you can't tell what's at all as far as AI goes. But we're not there yet, and I think. It's scary to me, when I see stuff like this, because you don't know really where the next level is, and especially the fact that we're now moving into the election season. There's pictures out there that people are saying are AI as far as crowds go and that sort of thing. What's going to be real? And that's this year, and then what's going to happen next 4 years from now when we have to do the election again?
We got a little taste of it at the Olympics. They used Al Michaels' AI voice over a number of the Olympic promos, and I was just like, that's Al Michaels' voice. He's nowhere to be seen in the Olympics. Now, of course, he signed off on all of this, but it's just so weird that you've got that presence.
It can still do it.
And he can still do it. It blows my mind.
And James Earl Jones, I think, is the same thing.
He recorded the whole dictionary for Disney.
Did he
Yes,
really?
he went and recorded everything for Darth Vader, for Mufasa. But what's crazy is the two guys that made her, they did it with two bras on their heads in their
That's
in their
weird
parents'
science.
Oh,
You're
that's
thinking-
weird sign. Yeah.
Same idea, though, right? Isn't it the same idea?
You're 100% right. Yeah, I never thought about that. You're right. This is actually cool. A father and son duo. They're actually going to do something that's never been done before. Host the Emmys.
I love this.
This is cool. Dan and Eugene Levy, of course, they're going to make history as the first ever father and son duo to host the event. 77-year-old Eugene, 41-year-old Dan. They made Emmys history back in 2020, becoming the first father-son to win an award during the same year. Eugene took home the top prize for Outstanding Comedy Actor, while Dan won Best Supporting Comedy Actor. The 2024 Emmys, September 15th. You can catch it on ABC. How fun is that? And Eugene Levy has an Apple
travel show.
Reluctant Traveler, I think it's called.
Reluctant
Because he
Traveler.
hates traveling, is what he says, and then they're taking him out, which is the gist of it, and they take him to places that I don't think anybody would really want to go to unless you're very adventurous. So it's just interesting to see him, and I just remember from SCTV back in the day, and just always being a fan then. And Splash is when I really thought, oh, this guy's a real actor.
And wasn't he in a lot of like the dog show movie and all of those
American
kind
Pie.
of campy American Pie
Yep,
and
American Pie.
yeah, all
It's,
of
you
those.
can tell the decades. He's American Pie. I'm Splash, and American
Dog
Pie,
show.
and now we're
Yeah.
talking about the mockumentaries.
Yeah, he's just both of them are just fantastic.
Yeah. All right. We are going to definitely have more fun, trending news and entertainment. All that's coming up right here after the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Flash.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson along with Mitch English. Now, I want you at home to be honest with yourself right now. When was the last time you exercised? Be it at the gym or even a walk. Well, do not fret. You are not alone if you can't remember. Millions of Americans are not working out. But why is the big question, especially in this body-conscious society we live in? Joining us to talk about it is Jenni Crumpton Ross. She's the president and CEO of Kula For Karma. Hi, Jenni. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me, Andrea.
So why are mental health issues like depression and anxiety significant barriers to exercise? You think that would motivate us to do something more?
Right. Well, when we're dealing with the symptoms of depression and anxiety, we're dealing with a chemical imbalance, not only in our mind, but in our bodies. We have neurons actually all through our bodies. So it's not just our minds that are affected by mental health issues. It's our entire bodies. So we often feel very lethargic, we feel unmotivated, and we're dealing with a lot. Depression and anxiety are terms we throw around a lot in our society, but they're very serious conditions that can really drain the life out of us.
What about outside pressures and expectations that might discourage people from working out?
Well, the first one that comes to my mind personally is productivity. So many of us are raised in our society to believe that we are our productivity. We're not necessarily human beings with needs, but we're here to create output and to be successful, and that requires sort of to achieve the American dream. We're trained to believe that requires just Herculean efforts of 24-hour work cycles. Now, I would say there are generations coming behind us that have a little bit of a different perspective on that. Even for instance, Simone Biles and famous athletes and celebrities during the pandemic came out and said, I have mental health issues and I want to be transparent about it, and I'm going to take care of myself. So that's really opened up the conversation. But other than that, I think many of us have it very deeply instilled in us that we are what we produce.
That is true. Obviously, when you're at a dinner party or some kind of a function, it's always, who are you and what do you do, right? Those are the first two questions anybody asks. And that's how we identify ourselves.
How are you?
Yeah, right. Exactly. That comes later. How many
Right.
Americans would you say struggle to find, or let me say, make time to exercise because of work schedules?
Well, definitely millions. I'm not sure that there's been an actual study on that, which would be really interesting to see. I think between work and children and families, people really do struggle to find the time. And I think that's why movement really needs to be something that's nourishing for people, something that we look forward to. I think for a lot of us, we have this feeling in our bodies that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get up at 5 a.m. I'm going to have to go to a formal gym. I'm going to have to do things that I don't want to do. And I think if we can flip the script and really start to say, hey, this is my time. I'm going to do some movement that actually feels good and nurturing to me. And maybe I'll listen to my favorite podcast while I do it. Or if I'm on the elliptical, I'll watch a Netflix show because it's my time to nurture myself. And I think, really what the irony of all of this is when it comes to things like depression, anxiety, mental health conditions, we tend to believe that this is all in our mind, that mental health, it has to do with our
Sure.
brain, our psyche, our mind, but really it has everything to do with our bodies. Our bodies are really the missing link in mental health care in America. And so we have to start understanding that taking care of our bodies and moving in a way that is actually nourishing is absolutely key. And that is because there's a big secret that isn't talked about in this mainstream conversation that I'm
Right.
so glad the Daily Flash is having. And that is that trauma lives in our bodies
This
and
is
not our mind.
true. Jenni, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We'll have more on this interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com. Mitch, we'll send it over to you.
Very interesting stuff. Thank you so much. And then there's this, AJ. You know, the voice actor who originally recorded the voice audio for Siri says that she actually found out her voice was used through a friend who was messing with an iPhone, called her up and just told her, hey, I think this is you on the iPhone. On top of that, this is what's crazy. She said she was never even paid for the job. Susan Bennett's name might actually not mean a whole much to you, but Bennett actually was the original U.S. voice actor for Siri. That all debuted in 2011 on the iPhone 4S, if you can believe that. Basically, she was recorded by a company, and for 4 hours a day, she was taped just making nonsensical sounds and phrases that were all sped up or slowed down, all to create the iconic Siri voice. Now, she did note that, said that none of the original Siri voices actually got paid by Apple for having their voices used, but that next group of Siri voices, well, they actually did. And by the way, get ready for a huge makeover. They announced Friday that big changes for Siri, including AI stuff and getting it to do instead of just one thing, but a chain of things, and also going through your computer, or your phone rather, to know basically your schedule and said, hey, you got something coming up here. Do you want me to order a pizza for you or something like that? It's going to be interesting to see.
Do we get different voices?
They're saying that might be a possibility, but new emojis, including the possibility of getting AI emojis, meaning like show me a smiley face with a thumbs up and his tongue out, and you can make an emoji that way. So
I can only imagine.
Look for AI to be involved in all of that.
That could get very interesting.
I think so. Oh yeah, and I think it's going to take it to the next level. And this is what Apple has to really do.
Yeah.
Is all right. What's going to be new? Because our device itself is not going to change much.
Yeah.
But we learned all about that Friday at the WWDC. Tell you what, you're going to learn a whole lot more, and we have a better voice, Andrea, when we return. All coming up. Boss Lady, stick around.
In this week's Boss Lady, we are taking a closer look at the top 10 inventions by women. Now, you might be surprised to know that beer, the windshield wiper, caller ID, and the dishwasher were all invented by women. Check out this great list compiled by tech company Huawei.
Number 10. We start off the list with the ultimate social lubricant, beer. Beer was invented nearly 7,000 years ago by the Sumerians. Although we don't have an exact date or the name of the inventor, we do know that the first batch of beer brewers were women. Could be a great icebreaker the next time you're at the bar.
So, do you know who invented beer?
Number 9. And number 9 is the flat-bottom paper bag. What? A flat-bottom paper bag needs inventing? And second, what even is a flat-bottom paper bag? Well, here it is. Before this, there was this. As you can see, the old version paper bags were more like envelopes and were very inefficient. It carried less and took more paper to make. A lady by the name of Margaret Knight came along in 1867 and invented the process of making the paper bag that we know of today. Her innovations revolutionized the paper bag industry by replacing the work of 30 people with one machine. Number 8. When Mary Anderson came to New York in 1903, she noticed how drivers that were on the roads there needed to constantly lean out of the car and manually wipe their windscreens. While this may have been a great way to get in some exercise while driving, it was also a quick way to get yourself killed. So Miss Anderson set her mind to inventing what we now know as the windscreen wiper. She patented the invention and presented it to the motor industry, but she was turned down as people didn't believe there was a future for a device. It wasn't until 20 years later that the first car with window wipers that used Mary's basic design came on the market. And the rest is history. Number 7. Josephine Couturine was rich. In fact, she was so rich that the biggest annoyance was the fact that the china was being damaged every time her workers washed it. But Josephine wasn't going to meekly accept that sometimes things just get broken. She was going to invent a machine that would automatically wash her dishes without anyone touching it. So in 1886, with the help of a mechanic, she created the first successful automatic dishwasher. Her invention not only had separate compartments for different things, but also used pressurized jets of soap water to do the cleaning. Number 6. Kevlar is a word familiar to online gamers as that thing that stops your character from dying 5 seconds into a first-person shooter. But in the real world, apart from being the key material for manufacturing bulletproof vests, Kevlar is also deployed widely in many other areas. It is 5 times stronger than steel, yet also 5 times lighter. It was invented in 1965 by a chemist called Stephen Kwolek, who was researching the applications of liquid crystalline polymates. Number 5. In the world of inventors, there aren't many nicknames that can match the Sun Queen in terms of elegance and power. This is the nickname the scientific community has given to Maria Telx, one of the inventors of solar power. Telx is considered one of the founders of solar thermal storage systems, and she was a prolific inventor of practical thermal devices. Number 4. Before caller ID was invented, picking up the phone felt like opening a box of chocolates. But a lady called Shirley Ann Jackson decided to take away the fun of guessing and give us the choice to not pick up at all.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Shirley Ann Jackson was behind the invention of call ID in the 1970s. She was also the first African-American woman to receive a doctorate from MIT. She was a brilliant physicist, and the research also led to the invention of fax machines and solar cells. Number 3. Ada Lovelace was a mathematical genius. She was so ahead of her time that she invented what is widely considered to be the first computer program, 80 years before the first modern computer was even built. She had written an algorithm for a computing machine called the analytic machine in her notebook in the mid-1800s. By a wide margin, she was truly the first ever computer programmer. Number 2. Grace Hopper was not only a real admiral of the US Navy, she was also an unsung hero in the history of computing. She helped to invent the first compiler, or to put it in simple terms, the first computer program that could translate words instructions into code that computers could read. If that's not enough for you, she also coined the term bug, as she literally discovered the real bug causing problems inside her computers. Number 1. Hedy Lamarr was a Hollywood starlet in the 1940s, so perhaps it goes without saying that she was beautiful and talented. However, fans who knew her only from the silver screen may not have guessed that she was also a brilliant inventor. Her most famous invention is frequency hopping, a way of jumping around on radio frequencies in order to avoid a third-party jamming. Although initially intended for military use, frequency hopping was crucial to the development of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. A groundbreaking inventor who also got her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, not many people can match that.
For more information on this story or any other topic you've seen on the show today, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Also, if you know a boss lady you think should be featured on our show, drop us a line. Drop me a line personally, Andrea at dailyflashshow.com. We would love to hear from you and share a new bossy story. And if you want to check out all of our previous Boss Lady segments, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We're also having Matt Doolittle check in with us a little bit later on. You know, we all want to live in a very nice area, safe, I guess is what you want to say. I don't know how many people say, I want to live in danger.
You'd be surprised.
Really? So usually when you move to a city, you don't want to live in the city. You kind of want to find a small little suburb outside of it.
Yeah.
And so they have just come out with the latest list of the safest suburbs in the United States. I'm going to start with the bottom ones. These are not
The least safe.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So they found 360 cities that are in the top 100 suburbs, or suburbs. Scottsburg, Indiana is the absolute worst. You don't want to live there. That's followed by Lumberton, North Carolina, and then in Bernalillo, New Mexico. Bernalillo, thank you.
New Mexico, yeah.
Those are the bottom 3. Here's your top 5.
Okay.
Great Falls, Virginia. If you've been here, agree or disagree, let me know. Great Falls,
I've
Virginia.
driven through Virginia, which I will never drive through again because I got a speeding ticket through Virginia.
I was just about to tell you, you're not allowed to use radar detectors in Virginia, and you said a speeding ticket. It's hilarious. I don't know why I know that. I don't even have a radar detector.
And let me tell you, don't get a speeding ticket in Virginia. It's a long story.
I believe it. Rockville, Maryland is number 4. Layton, Utah, which I have friends that live in Layton, Utah.
Okay.
And the Bethesda, Maryland. Which is
really?
outside of D.C., which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then the number 1 safest suburb is Lehigh, Utah, which is a suburb of Salt Lake City, which is also where they shot Footloose when he was in the grain where he was doing all the acrobatics and stuff. That's where they held prom at that school outside of it. That's all I know about Lehigh, Utah. And it's now a safe city. So there you go. Safe suburb.
Safe suburb.
Now you know.
Okay. Guests can book a one-night stay for free at a luxury resort in Spain, but there is a catch, as there always is. The walls are made of glass. There you have it, folks. 2 travel bloggers stayed in the glass room located in the lobby of the popular Ibiza hotel, but they had no idea what they were in for, or so they say. They claim the hotel failed to mention that the experience would entail basically a see-through room. Footage from their one-night stay shows staff mopping the floors, guests checking in, and someone snapping photos of the pair in bed. The couple says visitors knocked on the glass, woke them up in the middle of the night. Now, when they asked if there were any restrictions given the room's lobby location and walls of glass, the hotel didn't give the couple any guidelines.
Not at all. So you can do whatever you want.
Where's the bathroom?
I saw it said water closet, WC down the bottom, but that's a good point.
Yes.
That's one thing I will not ever do. I don't care. A lot of times people do want to go, when they go into hotels, say, hey, can I see what the room looks like before I get it? Well, now they can just say, well, it looks like that right there.
There you go.
When I sleep in it, I go, well, look, that's where it is right there. If it's a free night, you can't complain about that, but you have to know there's got to be some kind of catch to it altogether, so keep that in mind. We move on now to the latest beauty trend. It actually takes that vampire facial to a brand new level. Beauty chasers have been injecting their own blood into their face to rejuvenate their complexion. The injections of PRF, or platelet-rich fibrin, is part of a new trend toward natural refreshers. Experts say that the injections could actually minimize dark circles, wrinkles, even hair loss. Injections cost anywhere between $500 to $2,000 for a single session. Oof. Now, there's disclaimers all about its overall safety, though people are still drawn to the new approach of maintaining youthful appearance without fillers. And one would think, well, if it's my blood, I'm just moving it from point A to point B, is that a good idea? Is it really doing much? I guess if people are going back, they are seeing results at least.
I don't know. And how long does it last?
That has to be another thing. For $2,000, it better last a long time.
And I bet it doesn't. I bet it lasts 3 to 6 months.
What if I don't want my blood? Say Tom Brady. Let's go with that one. His is probably a little cleaner than my gunked up stuff.
Right.
Because me.
You'd have to do a whole body
you'd have to have a body transfusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Golly. I don't know. I think you get to a point. Do people just get bored with what's available to them, and they're like, what else can we do?
Well, I have money. How can I fix this? So think about that.
Well, because there have been trends with regard to facials that involve other bodily fluids, and that seemed to be a big thing for some women in Hollywood.
It's going to be the next thing. My blood. I hate needles, so there's no way I'll ever get it. So I'll just trust whoever says they
Buy a vial of Mitch English.
We don't want none of that. We got more Flash coming up right after this. All right, more than 100,000 car enthusiasts from all around the world gather in Pebble Beach each year to check out cars of the past and the future. Here with the story is Mike Cotto.
Celebrating its 73rd year as one of the most prestigious automotive events in the world, the Concours d'Elegance Monterey Car Week is where cars of the past intersect with cars of the future. Seeing a $3.8 million Bugatti like this one or a 1975 Lamborghini Countach are actually considered normal during Monterey Car Week. But automakers from around the globe embark on the Pebble Beach area to showcase some of their newest vehicles coming to market. Lamborghini is one of the most iconic supercar brands, and they debuted the all-new Lamborghini Temerario. This supercar will be powered by a twin-turbocharged V8, but comes with a twist. All Lamborghinis now have hybrid powertrains, and Lamborghini ditched the V10 in favor of the V8, and it pushes out 907 horsepower. The Temerario replaces the Huracan, and the exterior design is all Lamborghini. Aggressive 21-inch wheels, performance exhaust, and the track package has a rear spoiler. Monterey Car Week isn't just about supercars. It's also about automakers that embark on Pebble Beach to show off their newest vehicles that'll be hitting dealerships. Over my shoulder is the 2025 Lincoln Navigator, and as you can see, it's been completely redesigned. Not only did they completely redesign the exterior, but the interior has an all-new 48-inch panorama screen. The cargo gate on the rear of the vehicle is now 2 full opening doors that allow for different functionality, and a first for Lincoln, 24-inch wheels. Acura took the covers off of what they're calling the Acura EV Performance concept. It's all electric with a sporty design, and this 2-door is slated to come out next year. For those with a more affordable appetite, Acura is proving that electric vehicles can be performance-based as well. The ZDX is an SUV, starts at $64,500, and the Type S version rockets from 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds with 490 horsepower under the hood. It will have 22-inch wheels, adaptive suspension, 18 Bang & Olufsen speakers, and Google is built into the entertainment system. Monterey Car Week truly represents the best of the auto industry, so whether you're into classic cars, supercars, or even clunkers, you're going to find it here in Monterey.
And now the importance of seeking medical advice for a common skin disorder.
Psoriasis is an inflammatory disease and a misunderstood public health issue.
According to new data from the National Psoriasis Foundation, almost 40% of people say they'd be uncomfortable shaking hands with someone with the disease, even though it's not contagious. These stigmatizing beliefs can leave people feeling isolated and cause them to delay care. Talk to your doctor if you're experiencing symptoms. Even mild symptoms can lead to severe psoriasis and chronic health conditions if left untreated.
For more, visit psoriasis.org/infocus.
Amazon and Grubhub are partnering to make restaurant delivery actually more convenient and affordable. Check this out.
Grubhub Plus is now free with Amazon Prime, and customers can place takeout orders directly on Amazon. Here's Amazon Prime spokesperson Austin Masterson with more.
As a Prime member, you get valuable savings, convenient and free delivery, and quality entertainment, all included in one membership. Today, we're very excited to announce that membership now includes Grubhub Plus for free, giving you $0 delivery fees and savings every time you order on Grubhub. That's $120 worth of value, all included with your Prime membership.
Now, any Amazon customer can also order Grubhub directly on Amazon.com and in the Amazon shopping app.
We're continuing to grow Prime's incredible value by bringing food delivery options directly to our members. You can now conveniently order from over 300,000 restaurants across the country with Grubhub ordering directly on Amazon.
To find out more, visit Amazon.com/Grubhub. Again, that's Amazon.com/Grubhub.
KSA Entertainment is proud to produce and provide a robust collection of entertaining, uplifting, and timely content to broadcast, cable, and streaming platforms in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. KSA Entertainment. On point, on air.
The 2024 Still Timber Sports Championship brought the heat to Milwaukee. These elite athletes chopped and sawed their way to victory in front of a great crowd. Here's the story.
It was another action-packed competition in Milwaukee for the 2024 Steel Timber Sports U.S. Championship. The top lumberjack and lumberjill athletes in the country went head-to-head with the most powerful chainsaws and razor-sharp axes, all backed by the power of steel. And when the sawdust settled, 2 champions were crowned: Aaron Lavoie and Nate Hodges. This is the 3rd championship win for Lavoie of Spokane, Washington, breaking a new world record with a time of 23.61 seconds in the underhand chop.
And in case you don't know it, you just smashed the world record by 5 seconds.
I just played the game best I could. I did my job.
Narrowly defeating reigning champ Martha King of Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania by 1 point, who also broke a world record in the single buck with a time of 14.24 seconds. Lavoie and King are now tied with 3 U.S. championship wins each.
Absolute speed from Hodges.
For the men, Nate Hodges of North Fork, California, finally took home the gold against Matthew Koger of Grafton, West Virginia, beating him out by only 1 point following several nail-biting podium finishes over the last few seasons. He came out victorious in the final hot saw discipline, claiming his personal best with a time of 4.79 seconds.
5 years ago, I put my heart and soul into building that saw, and hey, it's paid off.
Although Jason Lentz of Dionna of West Virginia placed 4th this year, he secured a national record in the single buck with 11.57 seconds. Next up, the world. Lavoie will head to Klingenthal, Germany to defend her title at the International Women's Cup on August 25th, and Hodges will travel to Toulouse, France for the individual world championship on November 9th.
To see all the action, check out SteelUSA.com or the Steel Timber Sports US YouTube channel.
Home warranties can help protect homeowners when appliances and household systems just break down. Here's what you need to know.
Investing in a home warranty gives homeowners coverage on appliances and systems that will inevitably break. Front Door's Kathy Collins has more.
It happens to every homeowner at some point. An essential home appliance stops working, like the refrigerator or AC, and it will cost a lot to fix. The good news is that a home warranty can cover repairs and replacements.
A home warranty differs from homeowners insurance, which covers issues that might happen to your home, like fire damage, flooding, or storms. Home warranties help cover home appliances and systems when something breaks down due to normal wear and tear.
Home warranties are not required, but provide invaluable reassurance. A single repair or replacement could cost thousands, but a home warranty from American Home Shield starts at less than $1 a day. It covers coverage for heating and air conditioning, electrical and plumbing, and kitchen and laundry appliances.
For more, visit ahs.com. That's ahs.com.
The start of a new season is the best time for a beauty refresh. This fall, we've got the inside scoop on where to shop and discover the best epic beauty finds. Here's beauty expert Millie Almodovar with more.
Thanks for having me. CVS Pharmacy, one of the largest and most trusted beauty retailers in the country, is here to help you refresh your fall beauty routine and save big on head-to-toe beauty buys during its semi-annual Epic Beauty Sale, now through August 31st. You can earn $10 off when you spend $25 on beauty and personal care, both in-store and on CVS.com. And from September 1st through September 14th, you'll get 20% off when you buy online and pick up in store with promo code PICKUP20. Now, don't forget to use your extra care card at checkout too, so you can save and unlock even more rewards. CVS is a go-to beauty destination for tried and true brand favorites, along with the trending brands that are making a splash on social media. There's something for absolutely everyone. In skincare, Curology and Verse recently launched at CVS, and let me tell you, they've been going viral on TikTok for a good reason. Curology's Cream Face Moisturizer offers a rich boost of hydration, helping restore your skin's moisture barrier. And the Verse Press Restart Gentle Retinol Serum contains natural botanical retinol ingredients specially formulated for sensitive skin. Now, when it comes to hair, Miel's Rosemary Mint Light Scalp and Hair Strengthening Oil is one of my absolute favorites. It leaves my hair feeling so soft and luxurious. I also love the Heritage Played Cool Heat Protectant Spray, which hydrates while maintaining the strength of my hair and helping to shield against heat. For makeup, I've been reaching for the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Glotion Natural Glow Enhancer, which is an amazing deal compared to some of the pricier options out there. It gives me a radiant finish, and it's formulated with glycerin and shea butter for instant hydration. Also for makeup, I love the Maybelline Sun Kisser Blush because it looks like I just stepped outside and got a natural sun kiss. Now, you can visit cvs.com/Epic Beauty or your local CVS to explore these amazing offers for yourself before September 14th. But go fast, because there's no better time to restock and refresh your beauty routine than during an epic CVS sale.
Over 64 million Americans live with a disability, but many of them don't have a service dog to help them lead more independent lives. Today, we're joined by Raquel White, VP of Corporate Affairs at Eukanuba USA, and Paige Mazzani, CEO of Canine Companions, to discuss Eukanuba and Canine Companions' National Service Dog Awareness Month campaign.
We train service dogs in the methods that we invented in 1975 to perform over 45 tasks. Everything from opening and closing doors to retrieving items to pulling wheelchairs. We actually have an instructor, Alex, with us who's going to give us a little demo.
Jingle, get. Oh, very nice. Step. Very nice. Good girl.
Eukanuba is proud to have partnered with Canine Companions for more than 30 years. This year, we are doing a campaign called Feed Eukanuba, Fuel Independence, and this is really about providing the science-based nutrition that is formulated for the needs of service dogs. So anyone who wants to buy a bag of Eukanuba dog food, 28 pounds or larger, you can do so, and then $20 will go to Canine Companions. And if you want to learn more, you can visit eukanuba.com/us/canine-companions.
Thanks for all that great info. We'll make sure we have it on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Hey, welcome back to The Big Show, Daily Flash. Let's take a look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous as we dive into some celebrity real estate.
We're going to get started with television's most famous judge, who is putting her swanky New York City penthouse on the market. 81-year-old Judge Judy purchased the Manhattan property with her husband back in 2013. They paid $8.5 million for it, just listed it for $9.5 million. The duplex is located on Manhattan's east side. The home features 2 wood-burning fireplaces, 4 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms, and 2 powder rooms.
Wow.
There's a 29-foot entrance gallery, a curved staircase, and a formal dining room with floor-to-ceiling doors. Along with a living room and library, there's an access to a wraparound terrace offering sweeping views across the East River. The outdoor space is also equipped with several dining and lounging spaces.
Little, maybe you might not know this, but her husband is also a judge, TV judge too. He had a show, very short-lived TV judge show. It isn't as good as Judge Judy, though.
She's great.
All right, TV host and child actor Drew Barrymore. She found a buyer for a fabulous $8 million Hamptons home in less than 30 days. The film star, entrepreneur, and Hollywood royal first listed her renovated Sacaponic residence back in April. At the start of the holiday weekend for Memorial Day, May 24th, the home had already found a buyer. Barrymore bought a gorgeous home for $5 million back in 2019, then launched extensive renovations.
Wow.
The 2-story spread comes with 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. It was built back in 1920. The classic barn was first renovated in 2005.
Oh my
Sits on 2 acres almost. Design details include high ceilings, original beams, wood floors, large windows, built-in bookcases, French doors. There's even a living room with a brick fireplace, a dining room, great room, and a den. Glass doors lead to decks and patios for easy indoor-outdoor entertaining. Outside landscape grounds include a pool house, as well as a bocce court, which is that bowling thing.
Oh, the bocce court,
Bocce,
yeah.
thank you. Vegetable, herb gardens, and so much more.
Oscar-winning actress Jessica Chastain has listed her Manhattan co-op for $7.5 million. The 47-year-old Chastain paid $5 million for the 4-bedroom, 4-bath property in 2015. Access to the 139-year-old building's opulent turn-of-the-century detail-filled lobby. The apartment is currently bursting with details and colorful wallpaper. The 3,200 square foot abode features 5 wood-burning fireplaces, custom wall coverings, restored shutters, and a bay window.
Nice,
Yeah.
gorgeous, and for $5 million, hey, not a bad deal.
Yeah, not
Tell you what, you want to live luxury? Why not just tune in to Daily Flash on the morrow?
Bring it right to your living room.
For free. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.